All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with Jake Conan and Dario Pope.
How you doing, man?
Let's go, baby.
Dude, it's great to be here. Thank you all for coming into Denver. I appreciate it. Um, Dude, we wanted to talk about today was a few things. So, Dario, you've been with FFL for how long now?
Since 2020, right
2020.
before the pandemic.
Got it. And Jake, you've been
Coming up on 2 years.
coming up on 2 years. So y'all basically about around the same time, right?
Yep.
And you guys both came from captive agencies, and Dario, your team helped about 300 families this last month,
Yes, sir.
and yours was just short of 1,000 families for the month, right, Jake?
Yes.
Which don't hit me. I know Jake wants to hit me right now. I saw the linebacker look in his eye. He's like, we missed 1,000 families. I'm going to punch Zach in the face right now. So don't do that because we're recording and it's live.
You got it.
Thanks, dude. Okay, so what I wanted y'all to go over and try to help everyone else out that's watching this or anyone that gets this video is you guys are both with captive agencies, both in the insurance industry before. Like how did you land here and why did you land with FFL and why should other people, end up here?
Man, so many reasons. But I mean, number one was leads. That was huge. No contracts. 'Cause, I mean, I was bound by a contract at my prior company. Great experience, but I mean, ignorance is kind of bliss sometimes. I mean, a 43% comp, and then someone shows you over 100, you almost think it's fake at first, but leadership was huge as well. I mean, I wasn't surrounded by anyone over there that I wanted to be in their shoes. Over here, there was so many people. And Sean Mike, I mean, I just believe the direction and the vision, everything that he said. I mean, I believe it.
Got it.
I mean, I just piggybacking off of what he just said. I mean, you go from one place to another, and they try to get you to believe in people, and you try to follow people, but people let you down. I think what Sean Mike created here was just something you can just follow the vision, no matter what. It doesn't matter if Sean stepped down, retired, went away. The vision with the Family First Life will stay the same. And I think that was one of the things that was very important to me. Compensation was another one. I just wanted to be in control of my life. That's something that, working a 9 to 5 and everything like that, you never really are in control of your life. And the number one way people control you in this industry is by controlling your leads, because that's the fuel to get you going, right?
Right.
So when I came here and I realized you could get leads from anywhere, multiple different vendors at anywhere. I mean, you were flying from Denver to Ohio. Meet me at the McDonald's, right?
Right by the airport.
Right, but you had it just didn't compute in my head that was possible. So that alone would just let me know I have the freedom to actually work where and when I want.
Right. And that's where recruiting is not that deep, right? You were like, how does this work? I'm like, here's how the leads work. They said, like, the particular ones I was running were mortgage ones. So they said, if you die, pay off your whole home or part of it. I was like, here's that. And then here's all the applications I wrote. Here's the 15 applications I wrote from it. And you were like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, are you going to pitch me? I'm like, no. You want to do it or not?
I literally said that.
Yeah. I was like, so you want to work with us or what?
That's awesome.
And you were like, yeah, I guess so.
Right, exactly.
So the one thing, Jake, you touched on, and so I was not in the industry before this. I started with FFL 4 years ago, and I feel blessed to have done so. But I remember in the beginning, like hearing Sean and Andrew and Mark Mead and all these other people who'd been in the industry for a long time talk about the no contract thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why that was a big deal for a long time. I was like, okay, no contract, whatever. Like, we're independent contractors. And I thought it was weird that there would have been a contract, right?
Yeah.
And I also thought it was weird that it was a big deal if you had one, because I didn't know any better and I never worked anywhere. I never tried to leave anywhere where you had a contract. And it made sense to me, like, where some companies try to hold you hostage and all that sort of stuff, and very evil stuff, right? They're like, no, you can't go get a higher commission rate because we're going to hold your contract. So if you're looking at getting in the industry, you should definitely work somewhere. I think probably subjectively here, you should work here, but you should definitely work somewhere that doesn't have a contract. But when it made the most sense to me was when Sean did the deal with Integrity. I was like, that's cool. Like, good for you.
Right.
Happy for you, bro. Right? And then he explained it, and he was like, no, like, Andrew and Mark and John and Mike are going to do their deals right now. I'm like, how's that work? That makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you all own your own businesses within FFL. You make your own money. You have your own agencies, and it's all independent. I don't own anything of it, so you all can do your own deals too. And that's when I was like, okay, having a contract would suck, because if Sean owned my business, right, then I could never have done a deal with Integrity, and you couldn't do a deal with Integrity, what you're going to do, and you couldn't do one either, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that's why it's so important to not have a contract, and it never made any sense to me. People would kind of breeze by it, so I just at least wanted to touch on that a little bit more.
Man, I think that's huge. And I mean, not to mention everybody that we bring in to work with us, they can't get taken from us.
Right.
As long as you're doing the best thing for them. I mean, that was one of the other options that I was heavily considering. But I mean, you hear those horror stories, right? Where people are building up their agency, putting their blood, sweat, and tears into these people, trying to help them out.
Yeah.
Right. And then the rug just gets ripped out from underneath them and they got to start from scratch. I mean, I cannot imagine that.
Yeah, with some companies, it's almost a requirement. No, not almost. It is a requirement. As you grow, you would think that you would gain more, right?
Right.
But a lot of these companies in our industry, unfortunately, as you grow and you build and develop and train and you repeat that steps of recruiting, developing, and training, when you become now a top person in that company, they're actually going to remove those people from you. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. And when I realized that wasn't the case here, with no contracts, that allows you the opportunity to say, hey, this is your business from day one. Family First Life is your partners. They're actually earning the respect from you to be a partner with you. I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah, and to follow up on the no contract point too, we had a couple meetings, and Sean said something the other day. He was like, the other reason we didn't do one is it keeps all y'all like talking to the managers responsible, because you have to treat people the right way. Because if you don't, they'll leave, and they should leave, and they should go do something better for their family if you don't treat them right, and you can't hold them hostage. So I like that. So you guys are both work out of Columbus, and Ohio is an area that has a lot of potential. You're from Cleveland originally?
Yes, Cleveland.
Got it. And you went to school at
OSU.
Okay, and then remind me again how you got into the industry, like a little how.
Oh, I was in I was in the mortgage industry.
Got it.
And if you're anybody that knows the mortgage industry, you could get some money there, but they have they lay you off every year. The layoffs are crazy. So I worked for maybe 5 of the 7 major Fortune 500 banks in the area, and there's a lot in Columbus. And you work your way up, you get to 50, 60, 70, 80, $90,000 a year, and then as soon as they have layoffs, hey, you're the new guy that making the most money. Get them out of here. So I was just tired of that, and I was just trying to think of some different ways for me to work in an industry that was basically recession-proof. I mean, when I graduated from college, it was 2007. That was a recession in itself. I didn't even get a job for 2 years after that.
Wow.
And then working in the industry from being a customer service rep with 2 degrees, but I work in a customer service job at a bank and working my way up to being an underwriter. I just wanted to make sure I found something that would actually be beneficial for me, that I could help other people, but they can't lay me off. Like I can't get fired doing what I'm doing. And I found insurance.
Right. And the other point to that, like we just had or still have, like with everything with COVID going on too. And it's like everyone's still able to keep doing their jobs, do it responsibly, do it safely, wear a mask, do whatever you got to do. Right. But people still needed to buy insurance, and more insurance than ever. Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think it just goes to show it never really changes, with the ups and downs. So and then Jake, you're from Montana originally.
Yep.
How did you find the industry in the first place?
In the first place, honestly, it was I mean, kind of shallow, right? I mean, I get out of college, I just got like the first job I could get in supplement sales for endurance athletes. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but I'm like the opposite of an endurance athlete. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I was doing my best, but I was just looking for something where I could, just get ahead a little bit. Leaving with a little bit of student loans, nobody wants that. So it was honestly just a friend of a friend. He was driving nice vehicles. I respected him. Growing up, I knew who he was. And I just kind of hounded him for like 6 months to let me come in there and get in the insurance industry.
Yeah. Well, I think that's how we all start, is like we just need to do it. Like I just started because I was like, I'm going to try to make enough money to save some up, so when I go back to school, I don't think as many loans to live on.
Yeah.
Because like living is expensive now. We live in Colorado, like it's expensive,
Totally.
So I think it always starts there and it grows to a bigger vision. So what we're trying to do now, and with you guys, with both your help, is like Ohio is a wide open area for the insurance industry in general, I think, and especially, FFL, and we're trying to build something really big there. So I mean, like, why do you guys think, Ohio, in particular, the Columbus area, is such a good area for us to be building a business at, and why should people work with you who live there?
I mean, number one, man, the leads. The sole basis why I went out to, because I mean, from Montana, one of the biggest states in the country geographically, not a lot of people, right? And you can't sell
like
life
a million, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You can't sell life insurance to horses. There's so many people that you could talk to, right? But I mean, you look in the CRM and it's bright red all over in the state of Ohio, right? Like there's more leads than we know what to do with. I mean, these people are begging for help, right? We just need as many agents as possible so we can service the area, service the situation, and just for the greater good.
I was amazed when I first met you guys, and you guys were telling me like, "Oh, I'm from Montana. I'm from, Colorado. I mean, meeting different people from California, and I was just like, why are you? I mean, it's first of all, let's say this: it's amazing that you could do travel trips.
Yeah.
Listening to Wiley earlier, just hearing him talk, meeting him in all the great places, Alaska, Hawaii, he's been. I think that's awesome. But for some people, you have to do that, right? But in Ohio, I mean, it's everything there. I think we were talking about it. And I was like, it's city and it's suburban areas and then it's rural areas. Like whatever your niche is, it's 30 minutes away in north, south, east, west direction, especially in central Ohio. Right. And I think that is very key, whether you are an agent who's looking for clients, but even for the clients themselves, everybody is looking for some kind of protection there. And by being in that area, we can really dominate the insurance space, like in the Midwest, and maybe Family First Life if more people actually would join into our agencies.
Yeah, I think they should. And I remember looking at it on a map. It's like, oh, you can get to Cleveland in a couple hours. Yep. Indy in a couple hours, Cincinnati, Louisville, Lexington, Pittsburgh. Yeah. And that's like last week we did meetings in Indianapolis, Columbus, and Louisville, like basically in the same day and a half, right? It's like they're all close together. We can make it happen,
So many major hubs, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So many major hubs.
And so you guys have an office in it's not Columbus, it's different. What's the name of the town? Worthington, which is outside of Columbus. So anyone watching this, like what's the address there? And if someone's working with a different company, can they come in there and talk to you guys and see if they want to work with y'all?
100%, man. We're at 250 East Wilson Bridge Road, Suite 190 in Worthington.
And we've talked a lot this week too about some stuff so you guys are gonna start having, dial days, having, food in the office and stuff like that, and doing trainings. What days do you guys have trainings in there?
I think we're gonna do those on Thursdays to start it off, and then maybe start picking it up to Mondays and Thursdays. I think those are dial days, but I think those are good days, like midway through the week, where people see what was working and wasn't working, and then they could come in with questions, and then we can help them kick it up and speed it up over the weekend.
Yeah, and then
definitely can
have people in there doing some telesales and stuff like that if they want to come in and use it.
Absolutely.
So, okay, cool.
Yeah, and if they wanted to check it out too, and it's not a Thursday, right? Call me on 406-607-0624.
Cool. And then Dario, what's your number if they want to come work with you, or they want to work with you and they want more information on FFL?
Sure. 614-816-9762. You can reach me by my cell or at FFL Alpha on Instagram.
Yeah. This is the last thing too that I'll say before we wrap this up, because this is the year we're really going to take over and blow up the Midwest, I think. And it's been a goal. We've said it, but like we're putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into it right now, right? And we're really putting thought into it. We're like, how do we strategically attack this and go after it? And Sean said that we help more families from Newark, New Jersey, one city, than we do in the entire state of Ohio. And that has to change, because Ohio is massive, ton of people there, a ton of leads, agents. So it's a big opportunity.